Hello guys, today we are going over logical operators, and they're also sometimes called connectives in discrete mathematics, and we'll be going over each operator or connective and their respective truth table. So first we will be looking at negation, and negation is basically the opposite of a given statement. The keyword they also use this with is not. So you can just say like not P, or when you're like reading this here, the symbol is this, the half box, and the P is just any given statement. It could be any statement, and the way you read it is not P. So let's draw up the truth table. Since we only have one statement, which is P, we have true or false. Wait, hold on a second. Let me change the color. So a statement can be either true or false, and we only have one, so that's why we have two. And basically the result of it would be the opposite, as we've said. So the opposite of true would be false, and the opposite of false would result to true. And then we'll go on to the next operator. And conjunction, this is the symbol for conjunction, the caret usually. There are other symbols like ampersands and whatnot, but this is the most common in your discrete math class. And basically, for this to result true, you need two statements, and both statements need to be true to be able to result true. So let's draw up. So since we have two statements, we'll have four values. So P will be either true, true, and then false, false. And the reason why we have four is we are drawing up all possible combinations of both of these statements. So it could be true, true, it could be true, false, it could be false, true, and it could be false, false. This is all the combinations we have. If there was another statement, it would be 2 times 2 times 2. That would be the number of rows or values you would need, like each row. Like you saw earlier, we only had 2 with one statement, 2 values, or 2 rows. And because we have two statements, which is P and Q, we have 4. Okay, so I'll repeat this again. So both statements need to be true to result true. So you can just look at the table here, the truth table here. So true and true would be, they're both true, so result true. Then true and false, since they're both not true, will result false. And then these will also result false because, and the main keyword they use with this, or how you read this statement, like P and Q, they use the and keyword. That's how you read the statement here. Now let's go to the next operator, disjunction. And for this to result true, or you need at least one statement to be true to result true. And this also uses two statements. So we have P and Q. I already drew up the table here, except for the P or Q. And the way you read this, or the keyword, is or. So the way you read this here is P or Q. So at least one has to be true. These are both true. That's the result's true. And then here we have P is true and Q is false. Since we have one true, that would also result true. And then we have one true as well, where Q is true, which results to this whole statement being true. And then we have false, false. There's no true, so that will result to false. Or let me change the color there to make it more obvious that it's resulting to false. Then this one's pretty simple. The next one is the one where most people kind of have difficulty understanding. I remember having some troubles here. So basically, keywords, there's a bunch of different keywords. They usually say implies. So like to read this, you say P implies Q. And basically here is, this is only true, or this is only false if P is true, but Q is false. So this would be false and everything else is true. Like that's like the main point. And basically how you solve this, like I have an example here. It says if you get 100 on the final, you'll get an A. So if we say this part, if you get 100 on the final is P, and then this part is Q, you'll get an A. So if we say we got 100, we got it, but we did not get an A, let's say we got a B, this would result to, well, let's just look at the table to see what it would result to. So if we got P is true, so true here, so it's either one of these two rows. And then we did not get an A, so Q is false, so it would be this main row here. This results to false. And this is where some people have problem understanding. So this is like how they would say a promise. So if you make the promise, then this part has to be true, otherwise it will result false. So this is the condition, and if the condition is true, then the second part has to be true, because if not, then it's false. And if the condition here is false, then this second part does not matter at all. You can just cross it out and it will be true either way. As we can see here, both of these results, like the condition statement is false and it results true either way. So yeah, just try to look more into that if you're having trouble. Then last one I will be going over today would be the biconditional. And for this to be true, both P and Q have to be the same value to result true. So I can just show you the truth table and so you can see how that looks like, what that looks like. So true and true, these are both the same value, so it will result true. True and false, where P is true and Q is false, they're not the same value, so it will result false. And then false and true, that's also false. And then false, false would be true because they're both the same value.